Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to do this video today where I can tell a little bit more about my story and who I am. I feel like I've got a lot of new people into the community in TiffinTech recently, so I really wanted to kind of break down a little bit more about myself so you can get to know me more, and also please let me know down below in the comments where you're from and what you do and a little bit more about yourself because I want to get to know you all too. Okay, let's get started. I guess the first thing is I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I didn't grow up here though. I grew up in Saskatchewan, which is a really small province. Actually, fun fact, the entire province of Saskatchewan is, I think, like around 1 million or just over 1 million, and the entire population of the city Toronto is obviously over that. So where I'm from, my entire province is smaller population than the city I live in now, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. The town I grew up in, Swift Current, was a town of 16,000, or I guess it's considered a city, so 16,000 for the city, and it was awesome. I really love going back and completely getting to unwind, and it's just so peaceful and quiet there. It's extremely beautiful. If you haven't been to Saskatchewan, I would suggest checking it out. The skies there are just incredible. They're really beautiful. Okay, sorry, I got on a little rant there. So I am the oldest out of two. I have a younger sister named Lindsay, and she lives in Calgary, but she used to live in Toronto, and we see each other pretty frequently actually, which is nice. And then my parents are always coming out here to visit me, which is great. I have a boyfriend named Paul. He is the best. We've been dating for, I guess, 2.5 years now. And we have a dog together named Harry, and you probably see him all the time on my Instagram. He's the sweetest little cuddly puppy ever. I guess it's not really a puppy, he's a year now, but yeah, so those are a little bit more about me. I am a developer here in Toronto, and I've been developing I started to learn code, I guess almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago is when I took my boot camp. So I went to a boot camp to kind of pursue development, and then from there started working. But yeah, it's been about a year and a half that I've been developing now, and I love it. It's awesome. It's great. I really like to develop in React and JavaScript. For like work purposes, I'm mostly in PHP and the database MySQL, so more in the back end of things, but I really like the front end as well. I think it's just fun to be versatile. And what else can I tell you about myself? I am 26 years old. My birthday is in June, which I love because we can always like sit on the patio for my birthday or go out exploring. Another fun fact is Paul and I have been studying Mandarin for, I guess, almost 2 years now. We kind of took a little bit of a break, but we've been on and off studying Mandarin for about almost 2 years. We go to the Toronto Chinese Academy, so we get taught professionally to speak Mandarin. I used to live over in China, and I never learned the language when I lived over there, and it was one of my biggest regrets. So I always thought, okay, I really want to learn Mandarin, so hence we're learning Mandarin. I really want to do business over in China. I don't know what or when or how, but I really fell in love with China, and I mean specifically Hong Kong and Guangzhou, and I just think there's so much opportunity and potential out there to do a lot of business. So that's somewhere down the road, somewhere down the line, not tomorrow though. I guess something else, so I started out after high school, as many of you know, I started out in fashion and modeling overseas, but the turning point for me that made me realize I wanted to be in tech and be a developer was when I was in my university course at Ryerson here in Toronto. And it was my last year. We took a very basic HTML and CSS course, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I can continue to do this like for a living. This is so much fun, because it was constantly seeing different things come up on the screen and being able to solve different challenges and work with different technologies, and it was just so exciting to me, the thought of constantly being challenged and learning and using that side of my brain, and it was so much fun. So I was like, you know what, this is for me. And I really was hesitant, do I want to like fully commit to this? Like how do I go about this? it was so new and a whole new world to me. So I found a really great way to kind of figure out if technology or coding was for me, was to take some free online courses and just play around with it. Not even to see if I was good at it, obviously, but to see if I enjoyed it, because I feel like you have to have a certain thought process and way of thinking about logic to be a good developer to some aspect, but also too, you have to really enjoy it. You have to really enjoy solving problems and digging deeper and knowing what's going on under the hood, and also too being aware that there are gonna be days where you might be working on one bug for the entire day, maybe the entire week, I don't know. Just constantly solving problems and fixing things and building things. And I think I recognized that that was something I really enjoyed doing even from an early age. When I was growing up, my dad had a construction company, so when I was growing up, all of my summers were spent, or a lot of my summers were spent helping him out in any kind of capacity, you know, whether it's like cleaning up the job site or carrying wood from one place to another. Anything that like this small little girl could do or help out with, I would do. It was just more to keep me busy, but it really made me fall in love with building things and creating different things and solving different problems. And I think that whole experience working with my dad when I was so young doing construction really translated into my love for development, as weird as that may seem, but it has a lot of the same elements as far as problem solving, looking ahead at the big picture of what you're building and then breaking it down into smaller components. Kind of random, but that's how I kind of got my start into technology. And I really just wanted to start TiffinTech to bring people together, support each other in tech, and just really empower others to feel like they can do this too, or be in technology, whether it's coding, QA, marketing tech, or whatever. There's so many different realms that you can get into in the tech industry, and I think a lot of times people think, oh, well, I'm not a developer or I'm not QA, so there's no really place for me in tech. But in reality, working for a tech company or being in technology, there are so many facets that you can do. Even if you don't do some of the more technical skills, you can still really be in tech. And we need everyone, like from marketing to advertising to writing to, I don't know, everything. Everything can be translated to working on a product in technology or working for a tech company. I really wanted to show people what it's like to work in technology and a little bit about my life working in tech. And yeah, it's just great. So I don't know if I answered too many questions, but I hope I filled you in a little bit about who I am, who TiffinTech is.